All right, Moon Group, it is time for another week of spelling. And I do feel like even though last week's words were hard, I had a lot of people tell me from your group that they had a really good week with their spelling quiz. So I hope that we can keep up that pattern and keep learning our spelling patterns and keep growing as spellers. So this week we have 3 clear categories and then one more category of the random ones. So we have IED. We have KN, and we have WR, and of course, our random group at the bottom. Okay, so with our IED pattern, that is usually used with verbs that usually would end in Y. So verbs end in Y. But what happens is that when you add the IED, that means that you're dropping the Y. So let's get into our list. There are 5 words there, and you'll be able to see what I mean by that if you don't understand yet. I'm going to keep using my blue and red. All right, so the first word is cried, cried. And normally we would know that the word cry is C-R-Y. But if you cried, which means you did it in the past, you have C-R, and instead of the Y, we're going to drop the Y and add I-E-D. So cry, C-R-Y, but then we drop the Y into I-E-D. The next one is the word dried. So normally the word would be dry, D-R, then Y, but instead of a Y, we're going to do I-E-D. Do you see that pattern? Isn't it pretty clear so far? The next one is fried, fried, like fried foods. Normally you would have a fry, F-R-Y, but instead of the Y, we're going to do I-E and a D. I feel like this is the easiest pattern yet, right guys? Next one is tried. Instead of try, T-R-Y, you're going to do T-R-I-E-D. Tried. And the last one's the hardest one yet of this group. It's the word copied, like I copy the notes. I copied the notes. It's C, it's an O, P, copy. It would normally be a Y, but instead, because this is our IED pattern, it's going to be I, E, and a D. Copied. All right, our next category is KN. Now this is a silent K, and normally it's just going to have this N sound at the beginning instead of the K. So it's not going to be like, so the words on the list are knife, known, knock, not, and knee. So it's not knife or known or knock or not or knee. It's silent. So the first word is knife. It's K-N, knife, I. We have an F. And then we also have a silent E at the end, knife. So it's our vowel, consonant, E pattern, which makes it so that this I is a long I. I. Do you hear it? Long I. The next word is known. Known. So K-N. No. O. Do you hear it? O. No. W. N. Known. N. So also another way you could remember this is it's the KN for our pattern and then the word own, O-W-N. K-N-O-W-N. The next word is knock, like knock on the door. We have K-N, knock, it's an O, K. Now instead of just a K or a C, we're going to do a C-K, like in clock. The next word is knot. You tie a knot in the jump ropes. So we have K, N, not, another O, and not, T. So it's the word not, like, yeah, believe it or not, but it just has a K on the beginning. And then our last one is knee. We have K, N, and then knee, E. Do you hear the E? But we're not just going to stop at one. Doesn't that look weird? We're going to have one more E. So that's actually double E right there. K, N, double E. All right, on our next word pattern, we have WR. WR. So we have the word wrap, like you wrap yourself in a blanket. So we have W-R, wrap, you hear the A, and then P, wrap, P. The next word is wrong, wrong, it is wrong. So we have W-R, it's an O, wrong, do you hear it? It's a little hard to hear, but it's there, wrong, wrong, it's wrong. The next word is wrist, like your wrist. So we have W-R, This one's an E. Sorry, I said an E and I wrote an I. It's an I. Wrist, T, wrist. So far we only have one vowel in each of these words. See if we have another one. Oop, actually the next one's the first one that breaks this pattern. The next word is write. Like we're writing our spelling words. So we have W-R, right, I-T, right. But that's a writ. So how do we get that long I sound that we've been talking about? Right. We get the silent E. So vowel, consonant, E. And then our last word on this portion of the list is wrinkle. Wrinkle, like wrinkle your clothes. So we have W-R, E. So that sounds like an E, but it's actually an I. Ring, Do you hear an N sound? And then rink. So that's a K, wrinkle. So some of you might think U-L, but it's actually going to be an L-E. Wrinkle. So a silent E at the end. So I would not be surprised to hear that most of you think that this is actually one of the more challenging words off of the list is wrinkle. So you might just have to directly study the weirdness of this word. So we have our W-R, and then we have, the word ink, I-N-K, like, aw, guys, you made me ink. And then L-E at the end. Wrinkle. All right, and then our random words list. So the first word is super crazy easy. It's the word milk. So we have ill. We have an I, and then you hear the ill sound. Milk. K. M-I-L-K. And then the other four are words that the third graders will be familiar with right now if you're a third grader on this list. It's east, north, south, and west. So I picked these words to add to our list just because I thought it would be helpful to have these on here. So we have east is E-A, east, S-T, E-A-S-T. East, north, let's do north. Do you hear the th? That's a T-H. East, north, south. Ow. It's an O-U. And then again, south. T-H. And then the last one is west. We have west. East. S-T. So I think it's interesting to note that the opposites have THs and STs. So it's, if I can show you this. So normally we'd have north versus south. and then we're east. So that's how you remember that side of our country, east and west. Do you see how we have north and south, west and east? All right, that's it for this week, Moon Group. Have a good time studying.